Hi everyone, and welcome to my walkthrough of the Game Design Foundations course I created. This course is designed for first-year college learners but could be adjusted or adapted for high school students who are completely new to game design but curious about how games really work under the surface. My goal in building this course was to make game design feel clear, structured, and approachable. Instead of overwhelming students with software or terminology, the course guides them step by step, starting with core design principles, moving into analysis, eventually building toward an actual playable prototype. Here on the modules page, you can see the full structure of the course. There are 16 modules in total, and each one follows relatively the same predictable pattern. There's a welcome page, a required reading page. There are up to 2 mini lectures. There are at least 1 assignment and a wrap-up. During the modules there are reading, there's usually a discussion question and a quiz added in to the module as well. We'll now go through module 1 to show you how everything flows. The welcome page sets the tone by introducing the idea that a game designer is technically an architect of play. They decide the rules, the goals, the systems, and the experience before any code, art, or audio is created. The writing is conversational because students at this level need the confidence to say, okay, I can do this. After the welcome page in Module 1 is the course syllabus, but afterwards, following that, is the reading page. The required reading page walks them through Chapter 1 of our course textbook on game design by Rawlings and Adams. Instead of just linking a reading, I summarize the key themes and give guiding questions so students know what to look for while they're reading the chapter. Things like how rules, goals, and play form the core of every game and why strong design matters more than graphics. The mini lectures are fully web-based. Everything's chunked into small sections with bolded keywords, short examples, and clear language. I reference games students already know, such as Tetris, Mario Kart, and Minecraft, so that they can apply concepts without feeling intimidated. The design assignment for Module 1 is a structured game analysis using the rules, goals, play framework. This helps students shift from being game players to thinking like game designers. At the end of each module, there's a wrap-up that summarizes the main ideas and previews what's coming next. Modules 2 through 9 follow or deepen the understanding of the student, or the student's understanding step by step. Module 2 goes over the ground rules of games, covering fairness, constraints, and structure. Module 3 and 4 deal with more the narrative side of games, focusing on world logic, environmental storytelling, structure, agency, and branching. Module 5 covers visual clarity, affordances, and flow by going over the user experience in games. Module 6 goes over emotional pacing and engagement by covering core loops, challenges, and the game feel. Module 7 covers difficulty, fairness, and tuning systems through game balancing. Module 8 begins giving students practice in writing professional style documentation for games. It also introduces their final project, which is a game design document that will be due at the end of Module 16. Module 9 is an introduction to the engine that they'll be using, which is Godot 4. And by this point, students now have a foundation in how games are designed, analyzed, documented, and structured. Modules 10 through 15, the course shifts. Starting with Module 10, it shifts to a more hands-on game development, where students begin building their own Mario-style platformer using a tutorial series to go through step by step in the process. Module 10 introduces movement and interactions, teaching students how design concepts like decision making and feedback translate into mechanics. Module 11 helps students see how simple mechanics evolve into meaningful systems. Module 12 shows how collisions, responses, and game feel communicate consequences to the player. Module 13 will help students create smoother pacing and navigation. Module 14 starts connecting the user experience concepts to actual gameplay structure. And Module 15 finishes off by giving the students a satisfying sense of challenge and reward by finishing their prototype, which they'll turn in at the end of this module. Throughout these modules, the tutorials provide step-by-step guidance, but students still have to make design decisions. They learn not just how to do the code, but why mechanics matter and how they support the player experience. By the end of Module 15, every student will have a functioning prototype that reflects both solid design principles and practical development skills. Module 16 gives the students a space to reflect on what they built, articulate what they learned, and connect their project back to foundations of good design. It's a chance to step back and see the full journey from theory to prototype. They'll also be turning in their final game design document assignment here as well. In building this course, I focused heavily on clarity, consistency, and reducing cognitive load. Everything is predictable in structure, broken into small, readable sections, reinforced with examples students recognize, and supported with guiding questions and templates. I wanted students to feel capable, not overwhelmed. The early modules build their conceptual foundations, and the later modules give them tools to bring their ideas to life. Every choice, from the examples I used to the Canvas layout, was made to support learner confidence. Overall, Game Design Foundations is built to transform how students see games. Instead of simply playing them, they learn to analyze, document, structure, and finally build their own interactive experiences. My goal is for students to walk away understanding that game design isn't just about coding or art. It's about intentional choices, meaningful structure, clear experiences. And by guiding them from theory to analysis to hands-on creation, I think this course accomplishes just that. Thank you for taking the time to view my course. Hope this walkthrough gives you a clear picture of the thought, structure, and design that went into creating it.